When I think of pasteurization, I think of something to do with heat killing bacteria in food products, and the image of boiling milk comes in my mind. That is correct, but to extend onto that, one could say that pasteurization is heating products to kill bacteria and prevent pathogens. So that gives a one-line definition to the term pasteurization. But there are a lot of other information that one should know if they want to know more about the term pasteurization. And if you want to know more about pasteurization with me, then please click on the subscribe button and like this video as we are closer to the end of our journey on food preservation. So, pasteurization is a food preservation process in which foods and drinks are treated by heat. And that heat is used to kill harmful pathogens that can make you sick. And some of these germs are natural and raw milk. And if you get milk from cows and goats, it's truly important for it to be pasteurized for the safety of us and the food products. The benefits of pasteurization is that you can drink easy to access pasteurized milk at home, which takes a short amount of time, and this will prevent you drinking the germs in the raw milk, which prevents vomiting, diarrhea, pain or cramps, miscarriage, and more serious infections. And yep, you guessed it, today I'll be pasteurizing milk. So I'm going to be using already pasteurized milk as I don't own a cow or a goat. And I'll be using grocery store milk, but the process will be the same, showing how to pasteurize milk for educational and safety purposes. In this video, I'm going to be using a mason jar, which will be sterilized before use. I'll be using a clean cooking thermometer to measure the temperature of the milk, a wash spatula to stir around the milk, a wash container hosting an ice bath to cool the milk, and a clean double boiler pot which will be boiling the milk. And for the double boiler pot, I'll be using 2 pots that will be washed before use. I'll be ensuring my safety when performing this by washing all of my equipment for the safety of the process and hands before starting, and I'll be careful when dealing with boiling water. The process should usually take 30 minutes, but as you know from the previous videos, that I will shorten the time in ways I can find that was shortlisted. And today, this time that I'm aiming to meet is around 10 minutes. To accomplish this, I'll be boiling the temperature at a higher degree, about 75 degrees Celsius instead of the usual 55 to 65 degrees, and that will cut back over time. And I'll be cooling the milk faster by adding a lot of ice and consistently stirring the pot of milk. So now, let's get started with the video. So I start off the process by filling most of the container with tap water. So I'm using a mason jar, a wash bowl, and a thermometer for the process. So the container of water is starting to boil that I'll be using for the process. Now I will sterilize my mason jar in the boiling water. Next I'm going to be pouring milk into a second container that I'll be using as a double boiler. This marinates. So now is where the main process of pasteurization starts. So now it's in the double boiler, and I have to wait a bit until the temperature rises to more than 75 degrees Celsius, and I need to maintain that temperature for at least 15 seconds. If it falls or if I don't maintain it, then I have to repeat the entire process again. So I need to be above 75 degrees Celsius, and then I have to maintain that for 15 to 30 seconds, or at max like 45 seconds. And to measure the temperature of the milk while boiling effectively, I need to make sure that I put the thermometer inside, deep into the milk, deep into the container, but not touching the container. So I have to keep my arms steady for a bit while trying to maintain the temperature as it increases to 72 to 75. So it's about 72 degrees Celsius. Once it crosses 75 degrees Celsius, I'll maintain the temperature for 30 to 45 seconds, and then I'll remove the container and I'll put it for cooling. So now it's time for the cooling process to begin. So I'm going to take the hot container of the boiled milk, and I'm going to place it in another container filled with, it's like a water bath with ice. And after like a few minutes, I'm going to be replacing the ice with more ice or adding additional ice to increase the cooling process. So we need to make sure that the milk, the temperature of the milk, drops below 20 degrees Celsius. Once it drops below 20 degrees Celsius, then we can store it in the refrigerator for pasteurization, and the milk will be pasteurized. So to increase the time for it to be cooled, I'll be stirring it and I'll be adding more ice onto the container that's resting below the milk. So it's almost at 20 degrees Celsius, but the goal is for it to cool below 20 degrees Celsius. The temperature is almost 20 degrees Celsius. Well, it's inconsistent, so it keeps on rising and decreasing. I need to make sure that it cools down faster by stirring it more and adding more ice. So now the temperature of the milk has finally cooled below 20 degrees Celsius. I'm going to keep on making it cool further until it reaches like 15 degrees Celsius or less, and then I will take it out and put it in the refrigerator in my mason jar. And now the milk is pasteurized in the mason jar, and I'm going to be putting it in the refrigerator and I can drink it. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and learned how to pasteurize milk, the benefits of pasteurization, and the importance of pasteurization. And I hope that you found this video inspirational and you can pasteurize your milk at home. Thank you for watching this video and stay tuned.